Hi everyone, thank you very much for stopping by and returning to the Old World. This week we have seen the legacy armies emerge into the Old World with their PDF rules being made available through the download section of Warhammer Community. And I know there's a little bit of mixed feeling regarding these, particularly I think going to the front page of each of these PDFs where it says the games these are intended for are not match play, so not being tournament legal. And we've known for quite some time that Games Workshop has clearly been saying they're not looking to support these armies going forwards. There'll be no updates, etc. Now, I think for me, it is, I think, a little bit of a shame that perhaps there aren't some special characters floating around for these armies. However, it's probably not particularly surprising, considering in the Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes books, we're not seeing any special characters for the supported factions. They're only coming in as part of the arcane journals. And on top of that, of course, many of the special characters that we know and love from previous editions of Warhammer simply won't be around in this particular setting. So Skaven, for example, notoriously short-lived creatures, they're not going to be around in 2270 odd if they were also about at the end times, because they can't possibly have been born at that point. I think there's also a bit of confusion around some of the rules, particularly around how Murderous is going to play with double hand weapon witches. So perhaps there is a little bit of scope there for some FAQ from Games Workshop on these PDFs going forward, even if it's not making tweaks, just to clarify the position on a couple of points. So that would be something I think they could do and would be quite useful for the community. I think my overall impression, though, is the fact that Games Workshop have released these PDFs, and my understanding is, and I could be entirely wrong on this, but my understanding is there's been at least some degree of playtesting on these rules, means that people who have these older legacy factions at least have a way of playing their armies. Now, as much as codex creep might be a thing, and as if the game does well and goes through different iterations and updates and campaign books or whatever it is that Games Workshop choose to do with it, yes, these armies may fall further and further by the wayside. And it may be that when the proof's in the pudding and we're actually seeing games on the tables, it might be that some of these armies are actually far more powerful than we think and really dominate the tabletop. We don't have the data at this point in time to really know. There's just not been enough games played. Now, at this point in time, I've not had an opportunity to really plough in depth through the rules. I've had a glance through the main rules of the game. I've had a look at the rules of what are the factions I do have a force for. So I'm not going to stand here and spout some commentary on each of the different PDFs and what I think of them. But I think what is important is that overall picture of at least they exist. And from what I've seen as well, I think a lot of tournament organisers that aren't related to Games Workshop, they're going to be allowing these legacy factions to be used. So the vast majority of events, the vast majority of tournaments are going to allow you to bring your old toys to the table, even if they're not one of the 9 core supported factions. And I think that's a real positive, and it's a real good move from the community to allow people to play with the toys they want to play with. There's a lot of speculation, I think, around what might happen if the game does well, and it does seem from the initial comments I've seen and from the reactions floating around on the internet that the success of Warhammer the Old World has sort of taken Games Workshop a little bit by surprise, and they've done a lot better numbers than they thought they were going to do, which, from a longevity of the game perspective, I think that's definitely a positive. And if it's a kick up the backside to Games Workshop to do things better and look at producing more to support the game, then that is all absolutely fantastic. So within this spectre, we've got the idea that if this continues the way it is, that maybe some of these legacy factions will be supported going forward. Now, that might happen, but there is absolutely nothing being put forward by Games Workshop which suggests this will be the case. And we've got to remember that a number of the factions which aren't being supported are actually being supported in a way through Age of Sigmar. So Skaven appear there, the undead appear there, for example. I think the lizard men appear there. It's probably only the Chaos Dwarves, off the top of my head, that don't get that sort of level of support. Now, if I were a guessing man, and I'm not really sure on my prediction for this, but given that we were given information around Kislev and Cathay in early Warhammer community articles where they did promise us that these models would be usable in the old world, and as much as I've done a video saying, actually, I think Games Workshop have rode back from this, and I think the scale of the game has been much reduced from the original plans back in 2019, 2020, when all of this was kicked into motion pre-COVID. I do wonder if, as part of advancing the story possibly and developing the game, Games Workshop might be more tempted to look at brand new factions they can support. So Kislev and Cathay might be good options for new armies rather than trying to reinvigorate old forces which are partially supported elsewhere. Of course, all very much depends on Games Workshop management. It will depend very much on how well the game does. It does seem to have attracted tons of interest. Is this a continuous point, however, or is it just a bunch of excitement which, once dissipates, will end with minimal sales and a trickle of interest going forward? I'm hoping that's not the case, but time will tell. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for listening to my thoughts around the legacy factions. Now we've got those PDFs. I'm sure there's many of you who are going through those in great detail, particularly those who have collected those armies in the past. I am returned to the old world. Have a great day.